Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge Podcast. My name's Josh. Thanks for joining me. Today we're talking about a couple of things. First of all, Haidyn's Hope has closed on the cabin that they said they were going to buy, but is she committing fraud? Because, SpaghettiOs, maybe she shouldn't have left so many damn receipts on the internet. Dumbass, grifting ass, dumbass, loser face. So, let's get talking about it. Dun, da, da, in the store, finally. I know it took a little while. Got the world's okayest mom shirts that I make here in my sweatshop. Okay, so if you want to get one of these for Christmas or whatever, doesn't matter, just get one anyway, because you are the world's okayest mom in my books. Okay, those shirts get a lot of looks and they get a lot of chuckles from people. I have one that says awesome like my daughter. It gets so many good chuckles, and I have obviously world's okayest dad. Lots of people love the shirts. Parents love it. They get a little chuckle out of it, and they're like, hey, or they'll say something. I'm like, I'm just keeping it real. I'm not the best, but I'm okay. Okay, but anyway, those are really good shirts, and they're fun. Go get one at my store, or a hoodie, whatever you want to get. They are made by me, shipped by me, okay, with love and cat hair that's lingering. If you get a Sam hair on that, you keep that. That's valuable, okay? So anyway, let's get to today's video, okay? I absolutely hate people who grift off their children's sicknesses and especially terminal kids. You got to be a special kind of sick and disgusting to use your terminally ill children to grow social media platforms, to dry beg on the internet, to put together giant lists of toys and things, to say, oh, my daughter who is dying of cancer, all she wants in her life is 1 million followers on Instagram. Like Brie is stronger than cancer. That child is literally dying in front of everybody. You are watching this child die, and the mother's out there grifting and getting upset with people who are putting a sticker on the back of their car, and she's trying to get to the bottom of it, and she's like, who's doing this? What? Literally her daughter is dying in front of everybody, and she's not spending time with her daughter. All she's doing is trying to grow her social media platform to 1 million followers, because that's all that matters to her. And we all see it, and it's absolutely disgusting. Then you've got Haidyn's Hope, who's in that same online beggars community in Reddit. If you haven't gone there, it's called Online Beggars. They talk about the people who grift. Basically, it's people who are begging online, but they're grifting off their sick children. The most discussed topic in here is Brie is stronger than cancer, and the mother is trying to get 1 million followers before the kid dies. And I think it's morbidly disgusting. And we'll talk about this a little bit today, obviously, as we talk about Haidyn's Hope, because they're kind of one and the same. Okay, and then there's people like Haidyn's Hope who grifted for a damn whole ass house, and she lied to everybody to get it. Okay, so let's start at the beginning when it comes to Haidyn's Hope. I did a video on Haidyn's Hope about the Sanfilippo syndrome moms out there who are raising awareness to their kids' illnesses and their terminal illnesses and all this, and I get that, I understand that, but I made the argument, and I think very rightly so, that it's okay to expose a child to 1 or 2 videos about what it looks like, how you can support it, how you can, arrange money to support the finding a cure and all that kind of stuff. But when it came to Haidyn's Hope and the other one, I forget her name, she had a bad haircut. They got on the internet, and it's literally every single damn video is the child, because that's what people are watching. They're not there to raise awareness, or they're there because they couldn't make it on their own on social media. Especially Carrie Fowler. Stop sucking your thumb. You know what I'm saying? You can't make it on your own, and so you grift off your sick children, and you're disgusting for it. I don't care. I get a lot of heat and a lot of hate for calling out people with children who are dying. Okay? But I'm not... People are you confusing the fact that I'm not calling out the children who are dying? Those children are the victims of these people. Could you imagine your kid is dying? Days left on Earth, weeks, if you're lucky. And the only thing you're worried about is getting 1 million followers on Instagram. For what fucking reason? What are you looking for that for? I'm sorry, I gotta stop saying the F word. I know this stuff makes me so angry. But for what reason do you need 1 million followers? What is that? Who is that benefiting? Does that benefit your dying child? and who, as we see, doesn't actually know what's going on. It's too young anyway, even if they were all there. The child is literally cancer-ridden and dying, and the mom's like, let's get stickers, let's take pictures, forcing her to sign fucking autographs on the internet for people. This is absolutely crazy. If you have an autograph from Bree is Stronger Than Cancer, go fuck yourself. Okay, you forced a little girl who's dying of cancer, literally has no strength to do anything, to sign autographs for you. And so when it comes to Carrie Fowler, again, you go back to the beginning, I called them out, got a lot of heat for it. Okay, because they did a video, they're like, woe is me, the big, bad, bald, fat losers making fun of us. Rightly so. I struck a nerve, I struck a chord because you heard it and you understood, because both of those women changed what they did. They'd say it wasn't me though. It was just timing. No, but they sort of did, but then they didn't. They did for a little while, then they realized that their following was diminishing, and then they went back and did the same. And so I called out Carrie Fowler. I left them alone because, I don't want to, you don't need to beat a dead horse with that. I made a video that's very striking. I got a lot of heat for it, got a lot of, and a lot of people agreeing with me. I changed a lot of people's minds. That's what I'm here for, okay? The comfort snark is different. That's just for fun. We have a lot of fun with the Dr. Deals and the comfort snark and all that stuff. It's great. But with these videos, I don't need to, again, beat a dead horse. These people are already losing their children. It's the worst thing that could ever happen to you. Okay, but then they continue to grift, and then they continue to use this platform and use their dying children to enrich themselves. I think it's disgusting as human beings to enrich yourself off your dying children. And it's so blatantly obvious that you're doing it, and it makes people angry, and it makes people switch. And that's good, and I need to call that out. So when it comes to Carrie Fowler, again, I started calling her out. I did another video. She did this. She put this GoFundMe together to literally buy a house. She said these words. She's like, there's a lot of money out there. Might as well just ask. She has been living in this home before, I think even before the Sanfilippo syndrome happened to her child, before they even got it diagnosed. So she didn't move there because of Sanfilippo syndrome. She moved there because they probably make bad financial decisions. Her husband, an electrician, okay? I think works for dad's electrician company. That's what I think. I could be wrong about that. But regardless, an electrician makes a lot of money. Do you know how expensive electricians are to get into your home? I should know. I just did a bunch of renovations in this house. Electricians are ridiculously expensive. Worth it because you got to do things to code. I like a good I won't touch electricity. It's something I won't touch. Okay, I can do minor plumbing. I can do drywall. I can do a little bit of this and that. I can do all that kind of stuff. But electricity, no thanks. So her husband's electrician makes tons of money. Okay, that's all there is. And if he works for dad's company, he's probably going to inherit the company, probably makes more than everybody else. Okay, so if you can't live off an electrician's salary, there's something wrong with you. Okay, you're making bad financial decisions. Anyway, they've been living with his parents for the last 6 years in a very large basement apartment that's bigger than most people's houses. Okay, probably rent-free. Probably only have to pay for their own groceries, maybe not even that. Okay, this child has known nothing but that for the last 6 years and is comfortable there. And so Carrie gets out there and just says, you know what? My channel's dying anyway. Let's just see if we can grift a house off this. And that's exactly what she did. She wrote this: we never thought we'd be here, but life has a way of reshaping everything. 6 years ago, when our daughter Hayden was diagnosed with Sanfilippo syndrome, a rare terminal neurodegenerative disease, our world turned upside down. We sold our home, moved into my in-laws' basement initially to build our own home, but turned into being able to survive financially. Now, I guarantee you they have benefits that cover this, and they have what do you call it in the States? You have this insurance. Okay, there's no way they could have gotten by without the insurance. They have it. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that they have never talked about how they didn't have insurance. Otherwise, they grift off that too. And don't forget, they grifted off this child's cancer or Sanfilippo diagnosis by getting an RV for free, then complaining that it wasn't big enough and getting another one. I kid you not. But turned into being able to survive financially and have been doing our best to raise our girls while facing endless medical bills. And when they say doing our best, they mean buying 2 luxury vehicles and a brand new vehicle for their daughter who's going to college, who they're also paying to go to college. They're just scraping by the skin of their teeth while facing endless medical bills, the rising cost of everything since 2020, and the weight of a one-income household. We've run, again, one-income household if you own the house, but you don't pay rent. All you do is buy groceries, and then you go to Target and buy luxury vehicles. So spare us. If you were living in a home with a mortgage, we would understand, okay, maybe they just stretched a little thin. But you don't. You live rent-free. We've run through our savings just trying to make it through. She's lying to you guys right now, by the way. This past week, something happened that tugged at our hearts. Our neighbor died. who owned a small cabin that backs up on our family's land, recently passed away. His family is preparing to sell the property, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath cabin on 5 acres. So there's another lie happening in here as well. You'll hear it in a second. With a ramp already built. That feels like it was meant. A ramp, you say? Wow! The home represents something we haven't had in years. It's peace, privacy, and a place of our own. So she's saying she has no peace in the home she gets free rent from, or privacy. Why? Do they come down and hang out with you without asking? I doubt it. I don't even think they want to hang out with you. It would allow us to stay connected to Caleb's parents through the woods, remain in the community we love, and give both of our daughters the stability they deserve. Our oldest will be heading to college next year, and the reality of how much harder things may become with Hayden's has been heavy on our hearts. And then she goes on to say, after this post, by the way, that Hayden's fine. Nothing has changed. She's just kind of living. There's nothing that's changed. The diagnosis hasn't sped up or anything. She just did this because she felt like grifting. Because literally, Bree's strong on cancer. All she does is this is her grift, and she teaches other people how to grift off their cancerous children. I kid you not. She will reach out to other people who have cancer children and be like, here's what you do. Here's the picture you need to do. Here's what you need to do. There's a guy I was trying to speak with. I lost contact with him, but we were going to get on there. He reached out to her for advice on the medical side of things, and she was all like, okay, here's what you got to do. Take pictures, do this, do this. All she was trying to do is teach him how to grift, not give him the advice he was asking for. I regret not bringing him on the show. I still want to bring him on the show, but we kind of lost touch. And if you're watching this, I'd like to have you in the show. Here's where the lie starts happening right now. This is pretty big because I'm pretty sure this is fraud. We can't afford a mortgage in our situation. So here it is. We can't afford a mortgage in our situation. The only way this dream could become possible is if the home is, read it there, fully funded. Can't afford a mortgage. They need the full price raised. Okay? The asking price will likely be between $350 and $375. It feels impossible to write that number and swallow my pride. To share this, one of the hardest things I've ever done, but I believe in being honest about where we are. Remember, she says, I believe in being honest right there. So she's lying to you. The home sold for, I think, $359 to her. By the way, she bought it. and she only raised $188,473. That's odd that she only raised $108,000. And by the way, this is still live, by the way. This GoFundMe is still live. So she bought this home already, and the GoFundMe is still live. So here's what she says. So we are asking for help. If you feel called to give, to share, or simply hold us in your prayers, it would mean the world to us. You don't want prayers. You want cash. You want cold, hard cash. Stop with this bullshit. I hate when people do this. Like, prayers are just as good. No, you're lying to yourself. Stop. We want nothing more than to root our family here in this little cabin, surrounded by love and land, you already have love and land. You have tons of land on her parents' property, by the way, which they have. Again, don't forget they have luxury vehicles, bought a brand new vehicle for their daughter. They have side-by-sides, four-wheelers. They have tons of land. They have everything they literally live in the lap of luxury for free, and it's not enough. Meanwhile, people can't afford groceries. Anyway, she's giving Hayden the most peace and comfort possible in her journey, and giving our oldest the stability she needs as she steps into her future. Stability. It's a 2-bedroom house. So she's going to move into a house where she still doesn't have a bedroom. That's nice. So thank you. And here's the pièce de résistance. Okay? This is the most important line you guys have to remember when it comes to the Carrie Fowler case. Hayden's hope. If enough isn't raised and it doesn't work out, I will refund every penny. Link in bio. If enough isn't raised, I will refund every penny. Well, that's odd, Carrie Fowler, because enough wasn't raised. You raised $188, roughly half of the cost of that home, including closing costs and everything else. So you didn't raise enough money. So you basically lied and grifted off people because they feel sorry for your daughter to take literally $190,000 from dumb people. Where if you can't get a mortgage, like you said, if you needed to raise the entire, where did the rest of the money come from? She has been silent on it. She is not going to say where she got it from. She lied to you all. Those people who donated should go to the GoFundMe and request a refund. She said she would give a refund if all of it wasn't raised. It wasn't raised. Where's the refund? This is fraud, in my opinion. She's lying to you. And notice how here, it's the same wording. We never thought we'd be here in a life, blah, reshaping, blah, 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 blah. So we're asking for help. Blah, we're remaining close friends. From the bottom of her heart, thank you for seeing us, loving us. She took out on the GoFundMe that she would refund every penny if it wasn't all raised. But it was on her Instagram. She had that on here, but she removed that language. That's super sus, right? Why would you remove the language if you put it in there to begin with? Why are you not standing 10 toes on that? So here's the update. Here it is. The official asking price of $359. Additional funds will cover closing costs, appraisal, inspection, and necessary inspections. We've adjusted original go from $375 to $400. Oh, from $400 to $375. So she just be like, guys, look, I adjusted it from $400 to $375, right? Like, right? Look how amazing I am. I took $25,000 off what we were asking for from strangers on the internet. Shower me with praise, everybody. F you. Oh my God. So now, there is likely other things that could have happened here. The community could have gotten together. She said, hey, we got the money from Motherware. And maybe she'll come out and say it. But the way that she worded this GoFundMe, she needs to return $188,000 to those people. To every, and a lot of people are like, no, keep it, you need it, whatever, fine, okay, cool. But those people who were grifted into giving this person money based off a lie, this is a lie. She raised $190,000 and she lied about it. Because this thing has been kind of stagnantly dead since about 160,000. She's, you know, it's been around for a few months now. She thought it went gangbusters at the beginning. It went 100,000 really quick. And people were like, holy gosh, you might do this. Got 150. We're like, whoa. She got up to 188 and it's kind of stalled. The only reason it's got a little bit in the last couple of days is because she bought the house. Here's another post. Carrie's house fundraiser is now at 179. Even though that's still a lot of money, it's slowed way down where there's no way she's going to reach her 400,000 goal. She has posted 0 updates in days. No thank yous, no updates on the house situation despite her claim. This was a little while ago. This is a month ago. And here it is on Online Beggars. This is what she writes. Carrie and Haidyn Fowler. Apparently it's just her and her daughter. Not the other daughter or the husband. They don't count. We closed on the cabin today, October 10th, 2025 at 11:11 a.m. Okay. I photoshopped Bray in because she was at school. I have been impatiently waiting for this to be completed so that I could scream thank you. Now, it's going to be important to watch who she thanks too, and in the order that she thanks them, okay? Just watch. We truly couldn't have done this from the real estate agents, the lenders. Lenders? Lenders. What do lenders do? Brokers? Mortgage brokers? Lenders? You said you couldn't get a mortgage. You said you couldn't get a mortgage. You lied to everybody, and you thanked them in your thank you letter. Thanks, lenders, that we couldn't get a loan from. Isn't that weird? That she now could get a loan? After saying she can't, she needs to fund the whole thing. She lied, everybody. You should be able to report this, by the way. Processors and attorneys who helped us figure out how to make it work. To every family member, friend, neighbor, our community, loving stranger, and anyone who encouraged us, prayed, shared, donated, there it is, donated, or just sent love. So the people who literally funded this entire project, strangers on the internet with parasocial relationships with a child that has Sanfilippo syndrome, get just a little tiny passing side note. But you know who gets the first one? The real estate agents. Real estate agents. And the lenders. It's so curious that the lenders got that because look at this. We can't afford a mortgage in our situation. They can't afford a mortgage, guys. Isn't that amazing that the lenders are being thanked in this? It's still hard to put into words what this means to us. For us, this isn't just a house. It's a place to root, to rest, to heal. This house isn't going to last. I promise you that. They're going to sell that shit or build another house on it. And it's to give Haidyn the most comfort and dignity we can. Again, when she keeps saying that, are you saying she doesn't have comfort and dignity at the home of her grandparents? Why doesn't she have comfort and dignity there? She never responds to anything like that, right? She just gets to say whatever she effing wants, like a politician. Okay, it's super hypocritical and she just walks away. Lights a match on the TNT and walks away. It's where we'll make memories with both of our girls. And the one doesn't even have a bedroom, which is nice for her. That's nice. While remaining near our family, neighbors, and land that we love. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you, thank you, thank you. You lied, bitch. Thank you for believing in us, for helping us when we couldn't see how it would all come together, and for reminding us that good, kind people still exist. Good, kind people make dreams come true. I love all of you. You don't know any of these people. You don't know any of them. Okay, and you lied to these people that you love. You literally lied to them. This is what the grift is, right? This is e-begging. This is why it's called online begging. She came hat in hand. We can't get a mortgage. You need to give us $400,000 for this. And then she got a mortgage, people. They also own land, 16 acres somewhere else. Don't forget that. They own 2 luxury vehicles, their daughter brand new vehicle. They have side-by-sides and 4-wheelers. They live rent-free. They also have a giant-ass RV that was given to them, and they own land and still dry begged on the internet for a home and lied about it to you. Do you get it? Over 5 years ago, when my Hayden was diagnosed with Sanfilippo syndrome and started these then tiny social media platforms to keep family and friends updated, that's what she did. She did it to keep her family and friends updated. Couldn't just do it in a text message. You've ever heard of a group text? No? Okay, cool. And to spread local awareness. I would have never believed where this journey would lead today. Over 1.7 million you across all platforms. Not only have we witnessed our own friends, family, and community support us, but also many from all walks of life all across the globe. Thank you for being our village. Thank you for loving and supporting us. Thank you for listening and believing my grift and my lies. I hope I don't get called out by the Dad Challenge podcast. Well, it's too late for you, bitch. You lied to everybody, and here's the most, like, I get it. Everybody lies, okay? Influencers especially lie because they got to do what they got to do. They lie about who they really are. They lie about their marriages. They lie about being good parents. They lie about everything because they have to make content that's like good. And so you buy it and you believe them, okay? They are lying. But when you lie, when you lie off the back of your terminally ill child, there is a special place in hell for you. Do you understand how disgusting you have to be to use a terminally ill child? All these ill-gotten gains, you use them and their image and their likeness against their will, against their consent, because they will never be able to consent, putting them all over the internet for people to watch them die morbidly, and you grift off it for money? Can you understand why people think that you're disgusting? Because you're not human if you do that. Your job is to protect your child, to see them through, to give them the best life that you can give them. Okay? And moving into a 2-bedroom cabin that looks like it was built 40 years ago is not doing that. You literally have a better place now where you are. Okay? And you have more than anybody else has. Plus, she makes a ton of money on social media. Don't ever forget that. It's not a one-income household. She makes lots of money on TikTok. She never mentions that. She's trying to be out there like she doesn't make any money on that. Yes, she does. Okay? When you grift, like, it enrages me to see this, and that people are just like, you go, girl. You are using a terminally ill child to enrich yourself. F you. Is that clear to everybody? Should I make it more clear somehow? So here's some of the comments. So they didn't actually need full funding of the $400,000 to purchase the cabin like she initially stated. There are so many things I want to say right now, but I'm trying to get into heaven, y'all. No, you get to say it. She's the one not getting into heaven. Okay, if they believe in God, and there's no way that they do, but if they do, like God says, you hurt any of these children, like you're going to see judgment like you've never seen. This is disgusting abuse against you. It'd be like, it's not abuse. It's dishonest. It's not even it's abuse. It's disgusting. Okay. It's absolutely disgusting. This woman out there grifting off her child. Like it enrages me because exploitation children is wrong. This is like exploitation times 1 million. Okay. It's so much worse because of the situation surrounding the child. Disgusting. Absolutely effing disgusting. No, of course not. It was also they didn't have to reach into their own pockets. This is it. She just didn't want to reach into their own pockets and diminish their funds that they have. They could have sold the RV, which they never use. You don't ever see them do a video about it. They probably sold it already, right? They don't want to sell their land that they have because they want to build their dream house on it eventually when this girl probably passes away, right? They just want to grift because she has a platform. She's like, hey, I have this 1 million follower platform. How can I capitalize on it? And how did she get that platform? By her sick, terminally ill child. That's how she got it. She didn't get it off her own talent, her own looks, even thirst traps, even though she tried. She didn't. She tried her best too. And when she decided to take that child off for a little period that she did, her channel died. It literally died. And so she re-upped it. And she's like, look, I got one more last chance to use this 1 million subscriber channel that I have to grift. You should be so ashamed of yourself, Carrie. You are disgusting. And your husband, equally disgusting for allowing this to happen. You guys are just icky disgustoids. They didn't need funding. They just wanted middle-class families to fund it because they suck. Good wording. They never did. They could have bought the house like anyone else on their own with a little help from parents or the down payment. The dad works full-time and Carrie makes money from social media and her mindset coaching or whatever the F that is. They had the money they earned from selling their last house and the plot of land they own. Clearly they make enough to afford several new expensive cars. Plus they have to pay a mortgage on that property that they own. They have a mortgage there. And all of this when they have free housing and no utility bills. And by her own admission, Haidyn's out-of-pocket costs are something like $10,000 to $15,000 a year. That's a lot, don't get me wrong, but $50,000 to $75,000 is maybe a year of Caleb's salary as an electrician over the last 5 years. He makes more than $50,000 to $75,000 as an electrician. Sorry. Electrician makes easily $100,000 or more, especially if daddy owns the company. Electricians make a lot of money. And if you need to make more, you can work overtime, which, it sounds like they do need to, and it sounds like he does do that. Where did the rest of it go? You should see the comments on her post about her on Instagram. People are roasting her. Really? Oh, she didn't block this one. Good. Here we go. So let's see if she's being... I highly doubt that she's being roasted for this, but here it is. Says, where are you seeing the purchase price? I believe they raised $188,000 via the GoFundMe. They did not receive the full $375,000 they originally asked for. She specifically mentions lenders. They didn't raise the full amount requested. They only collected at $180,000. The house cost $375,000. What rest are you talking about? GoFundMe also keeps 3% of what's collected. Don't forget about that. Doubt any money left. If there is, it's not anyone's business. It is everybody's business because she's lying. This is fraud. 100% people's business. GoFundMe should look into this because this is going to enable other people to lie about their situations and just steal money from people. This is stealing. And then get the white knighters like this one. From seeing some of these comments, I pray you never have a child with special needs like this. She didn't force anyone to make donations. She lied about it though. She said she can't afford a mortgage. They cannot. Need to fund the whole thing, and then they didn't fund the whole thing. So are you cool with just being lying about and then lying about off of a kid who's terminal? Are you okay with lying? You, man. Stop allowing people to lie. The parents wanted a house but didn't feel like paying for it. There's no connection between the girl and the cabin. These people have a right to be upset for being misled on why they donated. Crazy you guys are getting a second home for free when there's so many people losing the one they have and they're out there in the street with little babies sleeping in homeless shelters under bridges. This country is so screwed up. But I guess we have our wonderful government to thank. I get what she's saying, but that's not the point. The point is she lied to get this. I donated $300 because I thought you could not get this house unless it was fully funded. Then you turn all the comments off. Do not post. There it is. There's someone who donated who got swindled out of her money. Lucinda, thank you. I was just going to say request refund. She says, I requested a refund. And that's what so many people should be doing. Comments are off and posting is down because of people harassing her. You don't know the circumstances behind her being able to get the house. We know the circumstances of her leading up to starting the GoFundMe. She made them clear to us. And when she didn't fund the whole house and still got it, we are... people who are out there who watch this content, we can ask the question, where'd you get the rest of the money? Right? And she says, well, the community donated. Okay, fine. But then you needed to reword it. You said, if this GoFundMe doesn't get all the money, I will return every penny. And she didn't return every penny. Okay? She said she couldn't get a mortgage and then thank the lenders. Like, get real. White knighters are crazy in your head. You're terrible people. And then this woman who did donate is getting berated in the comments like, how dare you? It's wonderful they were still able to get the house even though they didn't reach the goal. Why are people so demanding and mean? Because these are the things that she wrote. She put this out into the ether. She said, I can't get this house. I need it so badly, but I can't get it because I can't get a mortgage. And then lied about it. That's the problem, guys. Lied about this. What else is she lying about then? Do you know what I mean? Don't lie and then beg for money. That's ew. And someone says, what additional information came out? Because I donated too. I thought you guys weren't in a position to get a mortgage and would give the money back if you didn't get all of it. Something isn't adding up. Boom. And then someone says, she did say that. The lack of full transparency is my only issue. And for people saying they don't owe anyone an explanation, yes, they do. They owe transparency to the donators of the $188,000. Exactly. You're right. I don't deserve an explanation. I didn't donate, nor would I ever. But those people who did, they deserve an explanation, and they should stand up. Every single one of them should go ask for a refund from GoFundMe because she lied. She lied, and there's proof and evidence and receipts out there. You can just send that to GoFundMe and be like, here's why I want my refund, because she bought this home when she said she couldn't get a lender to give her any money, and then they got a lender to give her money. Why is the GoFundMe still open for donations if you got the house? So what's next? You got the motorhome, you got the cabin, maybe a boat? I don't know, maybe we'll go to Disney. Again, when people say, I hope that little girl gets everything, does that little girl look like she can enjoy anything anyway? And I'm not saying that to be callous. I'm just like, everything that these families grift, it's for them. And I'm not saying they don't deserve it, like especially the siblings of the kids and everything else, but these kids live in a wheelchair They are fed through a feeding tube. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I understand the respite for parents and stuff that have to deal with this 24 hours a day. I get that. Okay, but stop saying, oh, that little gets everything. What's she going to do with an RV? Come on, man. Stop being so stupid. What you're saying is I hope the mom gets everything that she wants. See, this is the comment. Sure it was. She woke up one day and said, Mom, I sure would like a motorhome. Bullshit. How many times has she been in it? I'm very sorry that the child is sick, but it doesn't excuse them taking advantage of their situation. It actually makes me sick. Millions of parents around the world have terminally ill children. And somebody keeps arguing about this Make-A-Wish. You don't know how Make-A-Wish works. Yes, we do. She made a wish. She got the wish. And then you know what she did with the wish? She complained that the wish wasn't good enough. And then she literally, social media, like extorted a bigger motorhome out of the people. That's what she did with her Make-A-Wish. Someone says, you clearly don't know how Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wishes are different from every kid. In this case, the Make-A-Wish was done by the mom because that kid didn't ask for an RV. That's what that lady is saying. Are you telling me this kid said, Mom, you know what I'd like? An RV to go camping in. That doesn't fit my giant ass wheelchair or my medical equipment that I need. Is that what this kid asked for? Isn't that weird that she asked for a motorhome for Make-A-Wish? I'm sorry. This stuff enrages me. Okay, here's a comment that is asked respectfully. I've been following your family for a few years now. Please don't come at me because I'm truly not hating on you. I'm just super curious why, since the day you started asking for money, people started donating. You turned off all commenting on all your posts, but you open comments on this one. One would think it'd be kind of a smack in the face to everyone who donated. Like, thanks for money, but now we don't care what you think. Yes, I know you deal with tons of hate and that sucks. But the hate is deserved, everybody. Sometimes it's deserved. Because of people like you. That is not a nasty comment. She's like, hey, to those who donated like me, why you turn your comments off? Why aren't we allowed to talk about this? Because of people like you. Fuck you. People were being extremely nasty and rude. Why were they being extremely nasty and rude? Because they were being lied to, and here is the evidence to prove that they were being lied to. We all saw this, because not like we all were like, well, maybe she's telling the truth. She clearly lied, everybody, and here's your proof. You don't need any more proof. She said, I need all the money. I can't get a mortgage. We need to fund the whole thing. Didn't fund the whole thing. Got a mortgage. Everything that she lied about. Like, what else do you need to see? She lied to you guys. Didn't you say you'd give back every last penny if you didn't get the entire amount? Sure did. Like that one. The nasty comments are so sad and unnecessary. No, they're not. This is what being called out looks like. This is what being held accountable looks like. People don't like to be held accountable or their favorite creators for some reason. Like, some people come for me when I come for a creator that they like. They're like, hey, Josh, this one's not okay. Isn't it? Right? Because everybody I come for deserves it. I don't just willy-nilly make up things out of the blue. These people I come for, obviously, because they're on a radar, I get them sent to me from thousands of people. Clearly, they're doing something wrong. I'm not just making it up. This is called accountability, and that's what the internet's for. If you don't want this shit, get off the internet. That house is not earned and definitely not deserved. Go to work like everyone else. Good point. You have a huge house with grounds. You need a golf cart to get around. I know you get another house. And apparently they can't move in for a few weeks because they're probably getting it renovated with $180,000. That's probably what's happening because that shit's dated. The total request of $375,000 is so nice that the house was half that amount. Again, this just repeats the comments. That's how it goes on this thing. So to be clear, you closed yesterday, yet the GoFundMe is still open and accepting money, and apparently you actually are in a position to get a mortgage like everyone else. So much for the fact that she said she had to raise all the money or they couldn't get the house. We all knew this wasn't true, but there it is in print. They got a mortgage. Didn't they say they would give back every last penny if they didn't give? Yeah, again, you think she's ever going to comment on that? Because she lied to people. She absolutely, you know what? She doesn't care that she gets called out. She literally got the house. That's all that matters to her. She could now be like, hey, you know what? I don't care if even my social media blows up anymore. I got a fucking house. She doesn't care. She is an evil bitch. Okay, that's evil. To grift off your sick children and then they lie to everybody about it and then just walk away? Like, oh my gosh. I hope you are ostracized in your community. Hope everybody sees who you really are and you have nobody. You're disgusting. Just a pig. They had money but grifted a huge down payment. I think it was just a ploy so they can get the last bit of land that the in-laws already didn't own and they're just going to rent it on Airbnb for money. You watch. That's probably going to be what comes up next. That's a good point. I do wonder if the in-laws wanted the land and decided to see if they could get Carrie to grift for the money for it. Seriously, these people and their family have more money than 99% of us, and yet here they are with their handout while the rest of us work for what we have. And the house isn't even accessible beyond a ramp to the door. I think the bedrooms they are ostensibly sharing with Hayden is the second floor, while their current home is completely accessible already. That would be better than putting Hayden in that house with all the stairs are really not made for her. I think the only accessible place in there is the main room, not the bathrooms or the bedrooms. We will see. Yeah, the house is not made for a wheelchair. That's for sure. She's just not going to address the fact that she said she couldn't get a mortgage, but yet managed to see the house without having a full amount anyway. Almost like you didn't need to ask for that much to begin with. She literally still has the GoFundMe open for donations. I cannot effing stand this woman. She is so pathetic. This whole buy me a house because my child is going to die someday feels like poor precedent. That's exactly what it is. And it's called a grift, everybody. Especially when you grift off a dying child. Well, my child's going to die, so please give me everything. There are literally millions of children in the world in this situation. What makes you so special? Right? What made you special was you exploited your child to gain a following. That's what you did differently than everybody else. And you are shameless. You are out dry begging when you don't need to. You have more than most people have on earth. And you are still begging for money. That's what makes that's what makes people upset. Because you didn't need it. When people take something that they don't need, what does that make you feel? Have you ever seen that video that went viral where they have these like cake swaps? And they showed one where it was like, this is what it's supposed to look like. And everybody brings a cake and then you go around and you take one slice of everybody's cake. And then they showed another one at like, I don't know where it was, but they were just like grabbing, stealing and everything else. How does it make you feel when people take something that they don't need? Right? When just because they can have it. Right? It makes you feel icky. That's what she's doing here. She's literally stealing. She's taking from people who could actually use it. Right? She's not raising money for San Filippo syndrome. Maybe she did in the past, but she didn't do anything like this. Right? She's not trying to raise awareness or find a cure for this. All she's doing is trying to find a cure for her boredom and her loneliness. And she couldn't make it on her own, and so she grifted off her daughter who's dying of San Filippo syndrome. That's all she did here. She's a piece of flaming dog shit. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. Garbage human being. And she knows it because she shuts off her comments. Can the GoFundMe be legally challenged given that she originally said was no longer true? No, it can't. GoFundMe does not require people to raise the entire amount, so it does not matter what she said. But those people asking for refunds can use that receipt to say, look, she didn't raise it all, I want my money back. So when will the next phase of handouts take place? Someone posted in the comments on Facebook, start your Amazon wish list for a housewarming. Sad that I can see that happening. Of course she's going to do that. Of course she's going to do it. If you have a platform to raise money off people, like, would you? I wouldn't, but would you? If you already got a house from it, why would you not continue? Look at freaking Breathe Stronger Than Cancer. The whole mom's entire thing is a grift while this child's literally wasting away in front of her face. She does not give that kid any breath to breathe. If she's not sleeping, she's making social media content with her. And she's dying. And we're all watching morbidly. It's disgusting. Okay? I need to do a whole video on just Breathe Stronger Than Cancer because that is a whole thing. She just sold her entire child for a house. She's a gross and disgusting example of parenting a special needs child. What a pathetic human being. It makes me sick to know that all those people could have actually helped people who need it. That's the thing. You could help another person that needed it, but you gave it to someone who didn't need it. That's gross. I wish someone in that community or that disease community would call out her scams. No, because those others who do it, they also scam. Okay, but there should be. I wish someone in the San Filippo community would come in and be like, guys, stop giving to these people. They need someone to call her out. But then they wouldn't be like, they would be ostracized because they would mobilize their army against that person. That's why they're scared to do it. I'm not scared. Bring on your little army of shitheads. Okay, I'd love to hear the comments. I love it. I love when people come into my comment section and be like, actually, or they try to like white knight for these people. Bring that. Bring it to me. I want it all. I want the smoke. I wish someone in that community or the disease community would call their scams. I guess they're just stereotypical rich people, steal from the less, and then their way to ownership. What a relief she will be able to park a $100,000 SUV, $50,000 truck, brand new teen's car, 2 RVs, and all her toys. It must have been so rough in her in-laws' plantation. Nasty human being, and truly hope she gets all the nasty karma in full circle, tit for tat, the moments like this she deserves. A home is not a substitute for a child's life, yet so easily traded it. Wow. The truck is most likely worth more than her car, though. More like a $100,000 truck. So it says. What's that next? Oh, we need X amount of money for renovations. No, that's what this is for. Again, I just don't like that she got out there to lie and say, I needed a mortgage for this. I couldn't do it without the mortgage. I needed this. I can't do it without you. I need to raise the whole thing. And if I don't raise the whole thing, I'll give everything back. Then she didn't raise the whole thing and she got a mortgage. So she lied multiple ways. How is she getting away with this? Report this shit on the internet, everybody. Carrie Fowler is a human piece of filth. Garbage. Massive piece of garbage. Stop watching her. If you donated, please go get your refund. You are deserved a refund. You are owed a refund. She lied to you. She lied to all those people. And she shouldn't be rewarded for it. And Kendra Bird, I'm coming for you next. You guys don't get away with this. You can't just, and you also can't just hide behind your 6 children and be like, oh, don't come for me. No. When you do something disgusting like this and grift off a dying child, we should all come for you. You're a disgusting piece of human filth. This is the lowest of low that you could be as a human being, and it's actually disgusting. And that's why I'm here. I am your karma. Cool? Everybody, take a deep breath. Gonna need it today. What do you guys think of this stuff? Am I on an island here? I know a few of you, but like, really, why are we not calling them out? Why is this not fraud? It should be illegal to do this. It should be illegal to lie off the back of your dying child and make money. It should be effing illegal. Oh, this world is nasty. Like people who panhandle and then get into a Mercedes-Benz and drive home. That's what this is. Absolutely just disgusting. But you're not. You're amazing, incredible, and valuable. Thank you for being here for these tough conversations. I appreciate you. Appreciate you here, and I want you to leave a comment. I want you to share this video on your Instagram and everything else. Take a snippet, hold your phone up to a point that you thought was salient, share that on the internet. This needs to get out there. She needs to be held accountable, and it needs to happen now. Okay? Thank you so much for watching today's video. I appreciate you, and I'll see you when I see you.